What's going on, Jerome's? Everyone and their mom is putting out their all-pro team, even though Associated Press, Justin Jefferson, we got some beef. We got some issues with the way that you vote. So we're going to reveal our first annual all for the win team. Now, I'm actually shocked that we haven't done this before because we're all about the low-hanging fruit when it comes to hashtag content. So again, I'm a little bit surprised that we haven't gone to this well before. But this is not going to be the guys with the best stats or the best accolades. It's going to be the guys that are awesome at their position. Also, just bring it. They got that attitude. They got the swag. They just got the fun factor that does make the game entertaining, right? So we're going to dive on in, and we'll see where we go. So first off, right at the top, Jumpin' Joe Burrow. Yeah. That's right. No Aaron Rodgers, no Tom Brady, no Mahomes. Give me Jumpin' Joe Burrow, baby. 4,855 yards passing the season, 35 touchdowns. Just the swag. Just the swag, man. And you love to see it. Where there was some questions about him going from LSU to Cincinnati. Would he be able to resurrect that moribund franchise? But he's done it, man. Him and Jamar Chase, who we might see on this list a little bit later. They got it done. First playoff win in 31 years for the Queen City. You do love to see it. Next up, at running back. Yeah, I couldn't do it. Like, I tried to shoehorn in Dalvin Cook, but even though Jonathan Taylor Thomas is a stupid Badger, I just love the way that he plays, man. But, yeah, Colts, they couldn't. JTT couldn't quite drag the Colts into the playoffs. That's mainly on Carson Wentz. But 1,811 yards rushing this year, leading the league by far, 18 touchdowns, just getting it done, where I do think that he is going to become the next King Henry, the next great power back with speed, which is just insane. Absolute insanity nowadays. Next up, the fullback, because on this team, we have a fullback. This ain't AP. It's like, how do you feel if you're one of the fullbacks around the league? Like all four of them. You have zero chance, goose egg, to be an all-pro because of Associated. Please. Fullback Patrick Ricard. Now, I wanted to go with my guy, CJ Ham. For me, he is one of the best all-around fullbacks in the game. But Patrick Ricard, you have a 311-pound fullback from Maine. That's Maine justice, baby. I love it. I mean, and I may be a little bit biased because Ricard got a lot of run in the Vikings-Ravens game. So he was showcased a little bit, but he's just a dude. That's hilarious. I mean, why don't more teams do that? Seriously, convert one of your linemen into a fullback and just get after it. I love it, man. Wide receiver 1. Yeah, we know. Jefferson running down the wing. 1,616 yards receiving this year. Only wide receiver to have 3K in his first 2 seasons. Also had 10 touchdowns. Could have been a lot more, but the offense had a governor on it the entire season. Clint Kubiak, come on, son. Come on, please. But yeah, Jefferson, first team, all for the win. Got to be it, right? Next up, Cooper Kupp. Yeah, have to show the respect. 145, 1947, and 16. Triple crown and he's doing all this with Matthew Stafford as his quarterback. So, I mean, that just has to elevate. Like, if you've ever got a competent quarterback, I mean, he'd be good to go. And maybe even a competent play caller, too. Who really knows? The last wide receiver, Jamar Chase. Yes, there is no Devontae Adams in this gosh darn list because this is, my show. Start your own channel. Jamar Chase, Bengals, 1,571 yards, beep, bop, 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 boop, just smashing, destroying Jefferson's rookie record. Whatever. LSU getting it done. 13 touchdowns. Jamar Chase also stepped up in the playoff game versus the Raiders. I'm rooting for the Bengals, man. I got to do it. Like, Cincy going to Tennessee, get it done. Come on, one time. Can we get some new fresh blood in from the AFC? Let's do that. Tight end. Got Travis Kelce. I understand that Mark Andrews had himself a bad boy season. Same thing with George Kittle, even though he missed a couple of games. But Kelce, yeah, 97, 12, 33, and 10. A lot of people point to Tyreek Hill being the receiver that makes the Chiefs offense go. It's Travis Kelce. It is just, he's a threat at all 3 levels, as well as outside, inside, and he and stupid Mahomes have just like a mind meld. Plus, Kelce throwing a touchdown. It was good to see, man. Like to see it. Flex. So this is what you do with the flex spot. Debo, Niners. That's right. Where, yes, he got first team all-pro wide receiver, but 10 to 15% of his work was from straight up being a running back. So, yeah, okay. 1,443 yards receiving as a receiver, even though some of those receiving yards were out of the backfield, obviously. 6 touchdowns, also 9 rushing touchdowns. And you saw against the Cowboys, like Elijah Mitchell, Debo, Little Kittle in there. And yeah, keeping Jimmy G out of trouble. Where can you imagine what the Niners offense is going to be like if and when Trey Lance gets going, man? The future, boy. Come on, let's go. Boy, Kyle Shanahan, boy, have you lost your mind? Because I'll help you find it. Get yourself some Trey Lance in there. Yeah, boy blunder Kyle Shanahan. He's like, oh, he's sticking by Jimmy G. Get out of here. Get the hell out of here. Offensive line, speaking of the Niners, Trent Williams. I mean, why would the Vikings have traded a 4th-round pick or, a 2nd and a 4th for Trent Williams? I don't know. But Trent Williams, he first ballot Hall of Famer. He's easily the best left tackle in the game, and it's not really that close. 1.8% pressure rate, only allowed 1 sack this season. He's a consummate professional, and he just destroys worlds. He just absorbs elite pass rushers. That's what he does, man. Love it. Next up, left guard. We got Joel Bitonio of the Browns. I just love watching the way that Joel Bitonio plays. Like, he just gets after it. He's a mauler there in the offensive interior for the Browns. And yeah, this could have been Quentin Nelson, except he had a bit of a down season. Also was hurt at times. But yeah, Bitonio just getting it done, man. Next up, center. Ooh, the rookie, Creed. We're rusted and weathered. That's too deep of a Creed cut. So I think people know that I like Creed now. But yeah, with arms wide open, getting it done with the Chiefs, only a 0.8% pressure rate. Him and Mahomes are dialed in. Plus, how did Creed get to the back end of the 2nd round? How the hell did that happen? But hey, the Vikings could have taken Creed at 45, but they didn't have a 2nd round pick because of Yannick the freaking Ngakoue. And for that, we thank you. Great. Wonderful. But yeah, Creed Humphrey, the pride of Oklahoma, physical, freak, getting it done. Man. Right guard. Yeah, it's kind of boring, but Zach Martin is still just an absolute crusher, man. Just getting it done with the Cowboys. And even though the Cowboys O-line is not the Cowboys O-line of a couple years ago, Zach Martin is still at the top of his game. And also, he had to play some left tackle at times this year. It's just crazy how he has that versatility to just move around and do great things. Next up, or lastly on the offense, right tackle, Brian O'Neill. I understand Tristan Wirfs. I love me some Wirfs as well, the pride of Iowa, but Brian O'Neill was the real deal this year, man. He absolutely was. Only allowed 1 sack in the meaningless Week 18 game against the stupid Bears, but he was the rock of Gibraltar all season. Big factor in the Vikings running game as well. Brian O'Neill, and also he got 3 All-Pro votes, and you don't vote for a second team there. So 3 writers of the 50 said that Brian O'Neill was the best right tackle in football, ahead of Tristan Wirfs, ahead of Lane Johnson, who was solid this year, very good this year, but I think he's still getting by on name recognition, just smidge. But yeah, I love me some Brian O'Neill, man. Vikings were actually smart. One of the few smart things that Rick Spielman did is like ink him up. That's right. Edge rushers do both at the same time. Woo. Myles Garrett and TJ Watt. That's right. Powerful AFC North. Myles Garrett, he's just an alien, man. He is literally a man playing amongst boys. And yes, as a Vikings fan, we got to see both up close and personal this year. Not great. And TJ Watt getting after it. I think at the end of the day, does TJ eclipse JJ's career? I mean, it would be kind of tough because what was JJ was Defensive Player of the Year 3 out of 4 seasons or something insane like that. But yeah, TJ tying Michael Strahan's all-time record at 22.5 sacks. Now people say he had 17 games to do it. Strahan's final sack on Brett Favre should not count. I mean, that's all. I'm just putting that out there. But yeah, there was games where TJ Watt single-handedly won the game. He did. But wasn't enough against the Chiefs, even though TJ Watt scored. I mean, TJ Watt was the Steelers' best offensive weapon last night. Or Sunday night. What can you do? Defensive interior. Actually, let's do both at the same time. There we go. Aaron Donald and Chris Jones. Woo! Chris Jones. That's right. Aaron Donald, 86 pressures, 12.5 sacks. I'm trying to avoid recency bias, but I think you easily can make a case that he is the greatest defensive interior player of all time. He's unblockable. You double or triple team him, he still gets it. Like, if you didn't watch the games, you would think that he was going Bertie Madoff on the stats. Like, you would not believe it. Like, the double and triple teams that he faces and still gets the pressure rate that he does, he's just off the charts, man. He does. But hey, it's a good thing that the Vikings took him took Anthony Barr right before Aaron Donald in 2014. Good times. And Chris Jones, I mean, Chris Jones is just a dude. Just an absolute dude. Where he doesn't look like he should be a defensive tackle. Like, he looks like he should be a power forward in a Turkish basketball league or something. Like, 6'5", 280, and he just has that man-sized strength, dude. Just gets after it. 65 pressures, 9 sacks, and just, yeah. I love me some Chris Jones. Where it does seem like the Chiefs are like 6 superstars and a loose collection of individuals. Chris Jones is definitely one of those superstars. Linebackers. Going to go Eric Kendricks as well as Devondre Campbell. And Devondre Campbell, he's the only Packer I can actually vote for on this list because he's a former Gopher. What can you do? But Eric Kendricks, a $143, tackles, 5 sacks, 2 interceptions, 4 passes broken up. For my money, he's the best off-ball linebacker in the game. He's certainly the best coverage linebacker in the game. So now hopefully the new defensive scheme can actually build around him. Not saying, I'm just saying. Maybe he'll wear the Captain C this time around. Who knows? Who knows? Devondre Campbell, who they essentially picked up off the scrap heap because he didn't work out in Atlanta, didn't work out in Arizona, and they're just like, oh, hey, come on in. Come on in. We need someone to replace Kamal Martin, who certainly did not work out. And Campbell, destroyed, man. He was voted first team All-Pro, 146 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 picks. Just getting after him. Just getting after him, man. And it sucks to see, but, flex. Yes, we didn't forget about him. Micah Parsons. And this is why you do need a flex position in your voting because, I mean, you could have voted Parsons in as a linebacker, except for most of the season, he wasn't really a linebacker in traditional off-ball way. He was an edge rusher. But if you put him at edge rusher, who do you take out? Garrett or Watt? No. But Micah Parsons, man, where I'm too young to have seen prime Lawrence Taylor, this is probably the closest thing that we've seen to Lawrence Taylor. Just an absolute mismatch nightmare. You cannot block him off the edge. He's going to get pressure either way. He changes the way the offense blocks. 13 sacks, 84 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. He's just an Energizer bunny, man. He is all over the field making plays. It doesn't matter where you line up 11. He's going to do some damage. And it's just beautiful, man. I mean, Micah Parsons is a big reason why Dan Quinn's going to get another head coaching job, too. It's kind of crazy. The 2 cornerbacks on the outside, Jalen Ramsey and J.C. Jackson. Now, I understand this is very controversial that you didn't have Stephon Diggs in here, but Trevon Diggs is the only cornerback who's given up 1,000 yards in receiving. You saw that the Niners, they weren't scared of him. I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo is not scared of you, that kind of says a lot. And there's a reason why Diggs had so many interceptions is that quarterbacks aren't afraid to throw at him because they know that they can make hay. So, I mean, take that with a grain of salt. I mean, he's a phenomenal ball hawk, yes, but coverage skills, Yeah, you certainly know Jalen Ramsey of the Rams, 4 picks, 12 passes broken up. Still at Ramsey Island out there in L.A. And J.C. Jackson, the Patriots, going to get paid. Going to get paid, that's right. 8 picks, 12 passes broken up, and just another alpha dog 1 cornerback for Bill Belichick. And it's just crazy how they just work things through in the secondary against New England. Not so much against the Bills in the wild card round, but what can you do? Speaking of the Bills, Nickelback. Taron Johnson coming on in. Ooh, the pride of Weber State. Speaking of get paid, he going to get paid. Or he should be paid more. A 1 interception, 6 passes broken up, 3 sacks. Has done phenomenal work. By the way, the Bills secondary is badass. Big props to Leslie Frazier. Big props to McDermott. So, yeah, Taron Johnson getting things done. Holding things down in the slot for Buffalo. The 2 safeties. Yeah, Antoine Winfield Jr. of the Bucks. Yeah, Vikings didn't need him either. It's a good thing that Jeff Gladney's working out. Cool. And also Micah Hyde of the Bills. Winfield, 88 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 picks, 5 passes broken up. Micah Hyde, 74 tackles, 5 picks, 10 passes broken up as well. So, yeah. I mean, you saw Winfield and Hyde just making plays in the playoffs. They're going to get it done. Maybe they're on a collision course for the Super Bowl. Who really knows? Into the specialists because, yeah, we got to do that too. Kicker. I think we know where we're going with this. Daniel Carlson. Hey. We could certainly use a kicker like Daniel Carlson. I wonder what happened there. 40 of 43 this year, both leading the league. 6 and 7 from 50 plus. Has not missed at home at Allegiant Stadium. It's like Daniel Carlson's going to be a perennial All-Pro. Probably not going to make the Hall of Fame, but he's going to be in the Hall of Very Good. And the Vikings gave up on him after 2 games because Zimmer got all prissy. So it'd be one thing if you picked him up as a UDFA. But you invested a 5th-round pick in him, and now you're just giving up after 2 weeks? Great. Cool. And of course, you never even talked to him. You never even coached him. It's like, oh, I adjusted my kicking stance by taking a half a step this way. Oh, I could have done that with the Vikings. How come we didn't talk about that? Whatever. Punter Brian Anger. Yeah, speaking of which, I'm Anger. So is Brian Anger of the Cowboys. He hit the video screen, man. It's kind of awesome to see. But 45.1 net, 29 inside the 20. John Bones Fossil does it again. Great special teams coordinator. Should be considered for a head coach, but maybe not with the Cowboys this time around. Long snapper. Nick Moore of the Ravens. Now, I don't really know a good long snapper. I can tell what a bad long snapper is. I only voted Nick Moore because he leads all the long snappers in the league with 4 tackles. Yeah, so a guy who's getting down the field and laying the wood on punts, I'll take him, man. A special teamer. Got Trenton Cannon of the Niners, formerly of the Jets. I don't know, 9 tackles. Cool. Great name as well. Go ahead. Kick returner. I think we know where we're going with this. King Kene and Wangu. Also, hold on. King. That's right. Even though he got snubbed from first and second team All-Pro by the geniuses over at the Associated Press. Led the NFL with 32.2 yards per kick return. Led the NFL with 2 returns for touchdowns. He is 25% of the way to the career kick return touchdown record with Cordero. Well, it's Cordero, Leon Washington, and Josh Cribbs all tied with 8, I believe. Cordero might still break it. Who knows? All of this with the neutered kick return rules. But okay. Well, we can't vote for him because he missed a couple games. He's doing all the... It's so frustrating, man. People are morons. People should not be allowed to vote on anything. But what can you do? Last one. I misspelled his name. Let me fix it. Enhance. There we go. All right, last one. Punt returner for the All for the Win team. Devin Duvernay of the Ravens led the league with 13.8 yards per punt return. Plus, Duvernay is a stud, man. I loved him in the draft process. I was very jealous when the Ravens picked him up. He is a running back in a wide receiver's body. He's not afraid to go over the middle. He's not afraid to take a lick or give a lick. Loved him at Texas. I wanted him in purple. He did end up in purple, but I want him in the other purple. But he's just a dude. I love me some Devin Duvernay. So that's it. Let's take a look at the first ever annual All for the Win team. Let us know your thoughts on our thoughts. And, if you disagree with any of them, you're incorrect. So what can you do? Let us know in the comments section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.